To start off with chapter 2, we have this amazing breadth of everything that we think it is that a computer does. We think that, these trillions of calculations that it does includes just this wide variety of different kinds of functions that only computers can give us in all of our experience in dealing with everything else in daily life. And really, all of that experience can be boiled down to four discrete phases that every computer undertakes. And that would be, like we mentioned previously, input, output, process, and storage. Now, when we define a computer here, I want you to take a step back and kind of expand what it is that you think a computing device should be. A clock on the wall, you cannot see it, it is just over here. There is a wall clock. So, a traditional, dial wall clock, that really now is not a mechanical device. There are no gears and springs in there where it is being driven in a traditionally mechanical way. It is being driven by a little piece of quartz and a little computer that tells it how often to move the second hand, the minute hand, and the hour hand. So that is a computer. And it has those components: input, output, process, and storage. The input is when I set the time initially. The output is the little ticking motion of the seconds and the movement of the other two hands. The processing is how long it takes for a second to, actually go through, and it's doing math on that. It is keeping track of how many cycles it is that a battery can pulse through a piece of quartz. And finally, there's the storage component there. We don't think of a watch as or a watch, a wall clock even, as having a ton of what would be called traditional storage, like we would think of it here on a different kind of computer. But there is a very, very small storage component there, so that what essentially is an operating system for a clock can be loaded into there. So a clock does all of those things. A microwave does all of those things. The input is touching the buttons to let you know how hot or how not hot it is to make your, terrible dinner choices, a hot pocket or a pizza slice or whatever it just so happens to be. The output is the beeping that happens when you hit those buttons. The output is actually the nuclear hotness of the food as it comes out to you. And the processing has to go on inside of that microwave in order for all of that to happen. And there has to be just a little bit of storage to keep, all of those presets and things of that nature all contained in that device. The microwave, your car is a computer. Your phone is a computer. If you have a tablet, it is a computer. And yes, clearly, your desktop, your laptop, etc., is a computer. So we're going to look at those four discrete phases next, but we are also going to, when we're done really investigating what each one of those four discrete phases does, we'll take a look back and say, now look, these devices that we don't believe are computing devices are really, by their definition, computers, because they input, output, process, and store things.